guys, it's your girl Z, back with another YouTube video. Today, if you guys did not watch my video last week, I hope you guys enjoyed it, those of you who did. But if you didn't watch it, pause this video and go watch my recent video called Life. Just a little insight about what I talked about is just basically how to take care of things in your own in your hands in a respectful manner, and how to stay calm. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Alrighty, so you guys already know by the name of this here video. It is called Don't Envy Your Neighbor. So, in the Bible, it has a lot to talk about envy. But since some of my viewers who I know aren't Christian, I won't elaborate so much on religion. Because don't envy your neighbor can go both ways, both sides of the fence, whether you're Christian or not Christian. So here it goes. And this lighting is good. I mean, I could stop and take a picture, Anyway, so don't envy your neighbor, which basically goes to stand for don't be jealous of what the next person has to you. Now, neighbor can mean someone strange, a total stranger off the street. It can mean your sister, your brother, your grandpa, your grandma, your mom, your dad, your uncle, your auntie, your niece, your nephew, your best friend, or your teacher, your fellow student, your professor, whoever you want your neighbor to be. Don't envy them. Your upcomings aren't going to be the same as theirs. I learned that's one of those situations I learned it the hard way. Don't really focus so much on what the next person has and what you don't. Don't focus on, oh, I wish I could have that brand new BMW that just came out, or I wish I can have that brand new phone that came out. Like, for example, the iPhone XS Max, whatever the heck it's called. I, for one, am not a fan of Apple, because I just think it's stupid, if you ask me. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. But for example, use the new iPhone that just came out. Let's say a friend of mine, Susan, just a total random name. My friend Susan has a new iPhone, and I have a busted up Android with ugly emojis. My phone has black spots all over it. It's cracked. I can barely see. My phone is always glitching, and I dropped it in water. So there's a setting of your example. Now let's just go to say, oh, she goes and buys a new iPhone that just came out, or her parents bought it for her, for example. And I'm just like, oh, I wish I had the new iPhone. Oh, I'm so jealous that she has it, and all those other things. You don't want to be in that predicament, because that's just really setting yourself back from accepting the blessing that's coming for you in the end. Because who's to say you won't get that new iPhone, or you won't get a new Android, or you won't get something new, period, even if it doesn't have to do with a phone. So just don't really focus so much on what other people have and what you don't. Focus on what you have now. You're in the present, you're not in the past, and focus on your future. We all should focus on our future, because it's your life. You live it how you want, but live it the right way. That part ties into my recent video, Life. Live your life the right way, but live it how you want to, because no one really knows when it's their time to go. So just stay positive. And even if you don't get that new iPhone X or the new iPhone, whatever it's called that just came out, even if you don't get that new phone, be happy for what that person did get. Because who's to say some total stranger won't give you the money to go buy that new phone? Or let's say, for example, you just started a brand new job at McDonald's, and it's about, let's say, 20-30 miles from your house, and you've been catching the bus. One day you get up for work, you get ready, and you look in your wallet, your purse or your wallet, however you guys carry your money, and you find out you don't have enough change to get on the bus. So you're like, okay, shoot, I gotta get to work. How am I gonna get to work? And then you call a friend, hey, can you come pick me up from work? I can give you gas money when I get paid the next time. Okay, sure. Take you to work. On your way to work, you're thinking in your mind, you're like, dang, they got a car. They got their own house. It seems like they got their life together. It seems like they're living their best life. I know you guys heard of that song. I'm living my best life. Hey, yes, that song. It seems like they're living their best life, right? But in reality, we don't really know what's going on behind closed doors or at their home. So, in your mind, on your way to work, you're like, why is it that I'm not the one that's getting these luxurious things? Or I'm not getting these things that same way that they are. Now, here's where this part comes in. You are not that person. You two are totally different people. Let's say that person or that friend that drove you to work comes from a very, very wealthy family. They were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, which just basically means they get whatever they want. They're handed whatever they want whenever they ask for it, right then and there. But you have to work for yours. Hard work pays off. I know that because it happened to me. And I used to think the same way that you guys are thinking, oh, why can't I have these nice things? Or why can't I drive this new BMW? Or why can't I have this new phone? Or this and this and this? Why can't I have my own house? I was the same way. But we all have to come to the conclusion that everything happens for a reason. And everything happens on a different time zone for different people. For this specific part of the video, for Christians, God works in mysterious ways. He really, really, really does. And for my non-Christian viewers, I'm not trying to force Christianity on you guys. I can just, like the saying says, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I can lead you to him, but I can't make you believe. God is never, I don't want to say never. He isn't there. He's not there right then and tongue twisted. How do you say it? He isn't there when you need him, but he's always on time. We need him. Like, even if we don't need him at that moment, he's still gonna be there for you. And you don't want to, how do I say this? Anyway, it'll come to me. But like I'm just generally saying, do not be jealous of your next door neighbor, because you don't want to miss out on your blessing. You don't want to miss out of your upcoming, whatever you guys want to call it. You want to be able to be there for whatever is coming for you in the end. So let's say, for example, it's 2018, and in the next, let's say, 5 years, you want to be up and out of your mom's place or your parents' place, whoever you're living with, and you want to have your own apartment or house, and you're working towards it, like you're going to school, you're working, you're saving up. And then within 2 years, you get your own apartment. And that situation came, or that blessing came without you being jealous, talking about how, oh, I wish I had that this person has, or all those other things. Now, let's say you are envy of your neighbor, and it takes you even longer than 5 years to get out of your mom's place or whoever you're living with. And that comes down to the consequence of you just being jealous of what the next person has. I'm going to give you a personal experience of me being jealous of my younger siblings. Yeah, I was jealous of my younger siblings. So years and years and years and years ago, when I used to live with my mom, I want to say when I was about 14 or 15, I don't remember how old I was. we were over here at my grandparents' house, and my grandmother was talking to me about something, and in the conversation, she had mentioned, you're jealous of your two younger siblings. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how could you know that? I never told anybody. Like, only God himself knows, because he knows our thoughts and he knows our next movement and all those other things. And I'm just like, how could she know? And she was just like, I know. Like, I can see it on your face. I can read it in your body language and everything. And I was like, it took me a minute to actually think about it. I was like, that is true. Like, you can see it on people's body language and faces. And so I was just like, wow. I had to physically say it out loud for me to overcome the fact that I was jealous of my brother and sister. And still to this day, I don't think that they know that I was. And even with how do you, even with last week's video, I mentioned how my cousin started working and he got position after position, and I only had seasonal and was looking for a job like every day, kind of. Sometimes I would just sit there and be like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna get it because I've been out here looking when it's hot, been out here looking when I don't feel good and when I don't even want to do it either way. That situation also has the partake of being envy of your neighbor. I was envy of my cousin, and I'm not ashamed to say it. No, I'm not. I'm actually happy for him. I'm glad that he got a job. I'm glad that he's working. And it took me a minute to actually admit that I was, because that same morning that I had mentioned to you guys when my grandma was talking to the both of us, when she had mentioned that you have the heart of someone who, when you see somebody being successful, you reward them without second thought, or like you praise them. And then she brought up a situation of my cousin working, and my body language shifted. Like, I was all listening to her and everything, like I was making eye contact when you have a conversation. And then all of a sudden when she mentioned him working, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I was rocking back and forth. My eyes were getting watery because I was thinking to myself, Lord, why am I not working? Like, why am I struggling to get work? Why am I struggling to get back in school? And still to this day, I don't know the answer, but I'm still fighting to get back into school, which is something that you guys should not give up on. If it's your dream and you have younger siblings, even if you don't have younger siblings and you have someone, or even if you don't have someone that looks up to you, you have a future to look to. You don't want to go to your future with nothing. And let's say later down the road, you want to have kids, or you end up adopting. You want to be able to provide for those kids. But anyway, back to the situation. My body language shifted. My eyes were getting watery, and I didn't even want to sit there and have to have a conversation. But then I quickly realized, I was like, my blessing is not his blessing. We are two totally different people. I'm a female, he's a male. He has different skills than I do in the work ethnic area. And I'm just like, okay. And people come to me, and the people who interview me and everything, they just don't give up. Even if you don't hear anything back from us, or even if we don't email you like any further instructions on how to do the background checks for the job position or anything else, don't be discouraged. You're just not something that we're looking for. And obviously you're going to tell them, yeah, that's understandable, because you don't want to seem so, excuse me, you don't want to seem so down. But then when you get home, you're just like, oh, okay. You feel, excuse me, again. When you get home, you take your shoes off, and you sit on the couch, you're just thinking to yourself, okay, it's a 50-50 chance that I'll get this job. Whether it's an individual interview between you and the employer, or it's a group interview with a couple other people and the employer. No matter which interview you're put in, it's still a 50-50 chance. And I was thinking to myself, I was just like, okay, I had an interview today, but do I really have it? Like, did I ace that interview? And so with that attitude, I was just went on about my day. But there was this one time that I did have an interview and I left on a bad note because I didn't feel like the job was for me. It's the same car that drive by here. Anyway, so yeah, just don't be envy of your neighbor, because in the long run it'll help you. Trust and believe me, like when one door closes, another one opens, and there's only one person who could do that for you, and that's God himself. And just work on you. Don't pay so much attention to your neighbor and what they have. And I know I've most likely said that a lot in this video, but that's what this video is about. Don't be envy of your neighbor. Trust me, you don't want to end up in a bad situation that'll cost you some things. Sometimes it may even cost you your life or your family. But yeah, do you guys and focus on yourself. Like, I'm looking directly in this camera and telling you guys, do you focus on yourself. Don't focus on what other people have, because let's say you do your hard work, it's gonna pay off. Trust and believe me. But anyway, I love you guys. Peace out. Alrighty, y'all, so that is all that I have for you guys today. If you are new to my channel, do yourself and do myself a huge loving favor. Hit that red subscribe button, hit that bell icon next to it, ting, so you do not miss any more videos. If you like this video, smash that like button. And with that being said, I love you guys. I'll see y'all next week. Peace out. Stay true to yourself.